You know what gets you in trouble? Do you know what get people in trouble? You don't know? Do you want to get in trouble? With your wife, husband, friends, upline, downline? You don't want to get in trouble. Okay, so I took some notes. Okay, I took some notes on how to avoid getting in trouble. So the first rule, if you want to write it, I think I got some 20 things I'm going to read. The first rule is you must know when to shut your mouth. Yeah? Shut your mouth. Is this a very simple rule? Right? When do I shut my mouth? And when do I speak? So I took some notes. Okay? There's 20 things here I wrote. So I have some rule here. It's very nice. When to keep your mouth shut. Okay, are you listening? Yes. Okay. The first one is keep your mouth shut when you're in the heat of anger. Yeah? So when you're angry, better don't speak. You know why? Nothing good would come out. But can you actually shut your mouth during the heat of anger? Very difficult. That's why they say that the tongue is the most vicious senses. It's sharper than a knife. Because a tongue can cut the soul. Although the soul could not be slain by any weapon, but it could cut the soul, meaning it could damage a person. It's worse than a knife. I cut you with a knife, it heals. I cut you with my tongue, it doesn't heal. So most of our relationship, and networking is all about relationship. The first thing I had to try to master is how I control my tongue in these moments of anger. This is a very important lesson I want you to take home. This would improve your relationship with your wife, your husband, your children. Because if you don't have control of your tongue and you just let that, just like, you have a gun. You just shoot it. Anytime you got angry, so you shoot someone. Would you do that? You have a gun, you carry a gun with you, and it's in front of your face. Okay? Every time you feel angry, you just you shoot someone. You got to be responsible. So why do you do it with your tongue? Are we clear? So can you practice that? That's why there's a need to practice mauna. Every morning you sit, do mauna, silent. Of course, your tongue wants to, it wants to talk, wants to say something. But if you practice at least every day, you keep quiet and shut, or you do some meditation, it helps you conquer the vicious tongue. Clear? Okay. Next point I have here is, hold on. When you don't have all the facts, shut up. When you don't have all the facts, shut up. You don't need to open your mouth, because don't pretend you know, because that would get you in trouble. You understand? It's better you keep quiet because you really don't know. Find out first before you open your mouth. Number 3. When you have not verified the story, shut your mouth. So somebody runs to you and goes, ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, and she's always the right one. Yeah? Have you met someone running to you and saying, oh, I made a mistake, it's my fault? Have you heard this? Pretty much, it's most of the time, 99%, it's the other person's mistake, right? And because you're connected, you're related to this person, you're very close to this person, you immediately take her word for it, yeah? And you get so emotional too. And you immediately run to that person she's referring to, and you start yelling and shouting, "Why did you do this, my friend? Why did you do this?" And you've not even heard her side. Then she explains. And you hear her side. Then you look like a moron now. You know why? Oh, I didn't know. Then you should have not opened your mouth first. Find out. Don't attack the person. That's why you have two ears. Hear one side, hear the other side. You heard this in SOS, right? VJ always talks about this. Hear both sides before you speak. Number 4, if your words will offend a weaker brother or sister, shut your mouth. What does that mean? If it's going to offend someone, meaning it's not something nice that you're going to say to your brother or your sister. And when I speak of brother and sister here, it's not just your blood brother or your blood sister. We're talking about everyone. If it's just going to offend them, what do? I'm not hearing it. What do? What are you going to do? If your words will be a poor reflection of the Lord or the truth, or your friends and family, what you should do? Shut your mouth. So meaning, we say a lot of things, and especially when we speak about someone. And we talk about someone, or we could be talking about a company. And if you don't know this company, and you end up doing injustice representing this company, or your friend, or your family, might as well shut up. Because this person would have a different impression, or different perception, or misinformation about this person or that company or your family because of your misrepresentation. So it's better you just shut up. Number 6, when you are tempted to joke about a sin. When you're tempted to joke about a sin, shut up. When you're tempted to, talk about sin. Sin is you talk about things that are not good, are sinful. Don't talk about it, because by talking, it could turn into action. Because you're thinking about it, so it comes out. Turns into action, and words are powerful. You have to understand this. Once you say something, it's out there in the universe now, It's interacting with things. That's why words are very powerful. It's going to happen. So before you say anything or joke about anything, sometimes people joke about the opposite sex. They joke about this or that. They see some faults in people. They joke about it. It's not good. Number 7, when you would be ashamed of your words later. So meaning you say something and you're going to be ashamed of it later, which normally we don't get to know that until we said it. It just goes to show that we don't have control of our thoughts and our words. It's better we shut up if you're not sure. You might regret. And we say a lot of things we regret. After you said it, we go, "Oh, I'm sorry." Is it not easier just to shut up than to go back and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I said that, I didn't mean it"? Is that easier, or just shutting up? It's easier to shut up than having to go back and curl your tails and go, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say it." Then why did you say it if you didn't mean it? Because of your tongue. When you meet someone, you just vomit on them. You know what vomiting is? Imagine someone vomits on you. And we do that. We see friends, we just complain, we nag, all the imperfection in the world, and after vomiting, you feel good, right? That's why you want to be a friend to someone, just stand there and be a vomitorium for him or her. Stand there, don't say anything, and he just unload all of his frustrations and anger and blame and nagging. And after they vomited, you just go like this. Oh, I feel so good. Oh, Japa is such a good listener. And no, I'll have to take a shower after. That's what I do with friends sometimes and family. You just sit down there and they vomit on you. Take a shower after, do some meditation. Because people just have all this frustration in them and it has to come out. And why did they have upset? Why do you get upset stomach? What causes upset stomach? Huh? When you eat bad food. This is why, if you're careful, when you go fridge, you check the milk. There's a 3-test thing before that thing goes into your stomach. Check first, expiry date. Check number 2, you taste it before swallowing it. Right? And if it's a little bit sour or whatever, you don't want to drink it anymore because it's going to cause you upset stomach. Is this true? How do you get upset heart, emotion and stuff? By hearing garbage. Because you also eat through your ears, which you don't know this. But tonight, I need to teach you that you have to be careful what you hear. Do you understand? If you hear garbage, right, you have to vomit it out. Just like when you eat spoiled stuff, it has to come out in the wrong place. It's going to come out of your mouth instead under. Why? Because it's garbage. So when you listen nonsense, negativities, complaints, you'll have an upset heart, upset emotions. And it has to come out. You got to vomit it on someone or else you'll become sick. You must only take on sound vibration that's positive, that's nourishing to the soul. It needs to nourish you, not to make you upset. You can cut it here. You hear, you listen, oh, this is garbage, bam, I cut it off. You understand? Can you do that? So if you learn to shut your mouth, you would learn the practice of shutting your ears. That's why in the practice of meditation, when we sit down, we try, there would be so many sounds that would distract you, but you learn to cut it off. You understand? That's a practice. You cut it off. There's bad negativity is being said. I cut it off. The milk is spoiled. I don't swallow it. How difficult it is. The milk, smells bad. I still swallow it. Is that moronic? You heard negativity. Cut it. Why swallow it? Why drink it? Why listen to it? Why even spend time? Why even sit down there and put a nice headset and listen to it? Of course you're going to get upset. It's going to affect you. And this is what's happening with us. So, yesterday I was talking about being responsible. This is your body. It's your most powerful machine. But understand what kind of fuel you put. Because not like just a car, there's only one place you put fuel, right? In a car, it's just the gas tank where you put fuel. But this machine is so complicated that it has different fuels. You put fuel through your eyes, isn't it? By looking at beautiful things, or you look at garbage things, right? You could spend your time looking at Playboy magazine, pornographic, X-rated thing on the internet, and what is it going to be for you? You're going to go psycho. Next thing, you're going to be raping someone. Is this true or not? Why? Because you put a different petro in your ears or your eyes. You understand? So, the eyes, you have the ability to shut. If you're seeing something not nice, you could close your eyes or turn around. If it's beautiful, please take in the beauty of the sunset, nature. Take it in. It's good for you. You understand? So it goes with all of your senses. When you touch something, it's thorny, it's rough. Would you still rub your hands on it? That's why there is touch before you hold. Listen before you hear. Look before you see. Right? Smell before you inhale. Isn't this, am I just making this up? Come on, guys, you know this, right? I'm just reminding you because you have this amazing body and you don't know the workings of it. Or if you knew, you kind of like forgot how it works. You understand? But this is so important because, see, this agitates you in a wrong way. Just like I don't need to teach you not to drink milk when it's spoiled. So apply it. Be practical in all aspects of the body. Because the body is such a complicated, it's an amazing machine. You have this machine, but you've not looked at have you looked at what do you call this? Like, you buy a computer. You don't know exactly all the capabilities of an iPhone 6. Have you even maximized the ability of your phone? No. Have you actually maximized all the ability of your body? No. But you've seen people who've at least done 10, 20% of the ability of their body. It's amazing. They're in the YouTube right now. Yeah? Just amazing athletes, gymnasts, singers, dancers. What portion ability of the body they did? Probably 10%. So you have this same body. It's an amazing body. It's a tool you would be using. Networking, all of these different tools that you could, achieve for success cannot happen without this, you're knowing how to drive this body that you have. You have a body, but you keep on crashing it. You eat garbage, you hear garbage, you see garbage, you touch garbage, you think garbage, you'll be garbage. Very simple. It's a simple math. When you're tempted to make light of holy things, sometimes there are very important truths. There are people believe on some important holy truths. We should not make light of them. With sarcasm, we criticize another religion or any form of practice. If you could just do 3 here, it will be amazing already. I think I'll reserve, I have 20 listed, but I think I'll reserve it for next VCon. Because if you just do 2 here, you could just practice 2 or 3. Guys, we'll be amazing networkers. You know what I'm saying? We'll be amazing networkers. You would not be hearing complaint. We saw, I was amazed last night. Okay? Muniba went through a lot of really terrible, I would say, experience, suffering, right? Did you hear any feeling of her blaming someone? Right? We heard her husband left her while she was in the car. Did we even hear her say anything bad about her husband? But you know what I'm saying? Your tendency, you just want revenge, right? But see, there's just no anger. It's amazing. So my camera is not reaching, huh? Okay. So we'll continue this. I'll be faster. If the issue is none of your business, shut your mouth. If it has nothing to do with you at all, shut your mouth. When you are tempted to tell an outright lie, when you're tempted to lie, just shut your mouth. Do you need to lie? Just keep quiet. But the thing is, when you keep quiet, it means it's yes. You know what I'm saying? So when I ask you something, is this true? And you keep quiet, I already know the answer. So normally we have to say, we have to give some rational. But it's better just take the Fifth Amendment. You know the Fifth Amendment? There's this law in America when you say, I take the Fifth Amendment, meaning I don't need to say anything. It protects me from lying. It protects me from, 11. Oh no, that's done. 12. If your words will damage someone's reputation. If your words will damage someone's reputation, better you shut up. Okay. If your words will destroy a friendship, better you shut up. When you're feeling critical, better you shut up. If you can't speak without yelling, you understand this? If you cannot speak without yelling, better you shut up. If you may have to eat your words later, better that you shut up. If you have already said it more than one time, meaning you're bragging about something, it's better you shut up. In the form of the wives or the husband who's nagging. You know the nagging is not just one time, right? It's like 100 times every day. Until you're alive, you would hear the same thing over and over again, which is you call the nagging husband or the nagging wife. Are husband naggers as well? Oh, that's a small crowd. Are wives nagger? Husband? Same, huh? Okay. Children also nag. Friends nags. When you are tempted to flatter a wicked person, so when there's a wicked person and you want to edify or say something nice about that person, it's better that we just shut up. And last, 20, when you are supposed to be working instead. So instead of you working and you just end up talking, it's better that we shut up. So these are just, guidelines. In fact, we could just use 1 or 2 or 3 would really help us a lot. And I've experienced, even in simple relationship, complicated relationships with wives, family, children, if you could just control yourself from just talking, you would save a lot of trouble. Sometimes we have this tendency, we gotta have to say the last word. We have to be righteous. We gotta correct things. There's no need. Sometimes it takes maturity. Maturity takes time. We cannot force that upon anyone. So the control of the tongue, I say control of the tongue, is one very aspect. It is a very important aspect of a leader. You know when to say the right things at the time. So when you say your opinion, it becomes powerful. Because you hardly say anything. But when you speak, it's full of content and people would listen. But if they always hear you blubbering, and they realize most of the things you say are just total nonsense, and they find out it's not the truth, after a while, they would not want to listen to you anymore. But if you hardly speak and they solicit your opinion because they hardly heard you, they hardly hear you. And when they hear you, it's just so powerful. Sometimes you just say a sentence and it conveys a strong message. Then you're more effective than talking, than having diarrhea of the mouth. Okay? You know John Lennon? Okay, he's of the Beatles. When he was in 4th grade, okay, just like I guess we've experienced this in school, the teacher asked all the students, what do you want to be when you grow up? So he pointed, what do you want to be when you grow up? So one said, oh, sir, I want to be a spaceman. I want to go to space. Another person goes, oh, I want to be a doctor. Right? What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be, oh, you're a doctor. Okay, cool. What do you want to be when you grow up? Engineer. You want to be, what do you want to be when you grow up? You know, this is how the teacher would motivate his students, what they want to be. So all the children, you know, they're just like, yeah, I want to be a scientist. I want to be a psychologist. I want to, all of these nice things. And John was just quiet. So the teacher went, what about you, John? What do you want to be when you grow up? What do you think John said? I want to be the Beatles? What do you think he said? I want to be, you know what he said? I want to be happy. He said, I want to be happy. That kind of like said it. Is that not what we all want to be? Is that not what we all want to be? We all want to be. But how is it that you have all of these things that you want to be? You understand the point? So John Lennon, his goal was, hey, I want to be happy. It doesn't really matter if I'm a doctor, a musician, this or that. I just want to be happy. That's a decision. Now, the reason I'm telling you this, probably you heard a story before, is that, you know, the most simplest thing we forget. We think happiness is a journey. We think happiness is when I'm maxing out. We think happiness is when I become a great entrepreneur. We think happiness is when I have the whole world in my palm, when I'm traveling around. Now, I'm meant to suffer because I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have this, so I'm unhappy. So let me be a doctor because when I become a doctor, I'll be happy. Is that it? When you become a doctor, you'll be happy? I've seen so many miserable doctors. When you become an engineer, is that what's going to make you happy? When you become a top leader in QNet, is that what's going to make you happy? No. Happiness is not a journey. It's not a title. It's not a position. It's a decision that you make right now and you make every minute of your life. We saw yesterday, we just witnessed this great person, Muniba. Listening to her last night, I was like, God, what problem do I have? Like, how can I complain? She made a decision. She was suffering. She was experiencing suffering physically, emotionally, with her condition, with her accident. It was, I could not imagine being in that situation. But she made a decision to turn, her decision was very simple. I want to be happy. And her formula is to be grateful. Simple formula. How would I be happy? By becoming grateful. Sometimes we go to hotels, we complain about our room, or my downline did not edify me. Oh, I didn't get a flower. Oh, I didn't, they walked by, they didn't, they didn't bow, they didn't touch my feet. Oh, how come I'm not a V partner? I should be a V partner now. God, I've been doing this for the last 20 years and I'm still VC. You're thinking that's going to make you happy. So somehow you're fighting for it. But if you look at all the things that you could be grateful for, you'll realize you're the happiest person today. You have a beautiful child. You have a beautiful wife, a husband. You're breathing. You're sitting here right now. Okay? You're in a different country. You're able to fly to countries. You know what I mean? You enjoy the simple, sunlight, sunset, the beautiful flowers, the friendship, the new friends you're experiencing. You get to hear amazing people, which you would never hear. Who actually knows Muniba? Aside from the YouTube that probably until last night, you've never heard of him, most of you. So there's a lot of things that we could be grateful for. In my life, I've experienced sleeping in a park because I don't have a home to sleep on. So every home, even how simple the home is, even a hut, I lived in a cottage with no faucet, with no fireplace, no kitchen. I was happy. It's pretty cool. Everything is like air conditioned because I don't have walls. Snakes would just crawl through. You know what I mean? Crickets would fly in, birds would stay. Sometimes I have snakes on top of my ceiling. But it was amazing. And when you get to experience, a beautiful hotel, it's like, wow, this is such a bonus. But because I could sleep on the floor, what could be worse? What could be worse? So, to be happy is a decision that you have to be making. And nobody could make that for you. Just like there's a choice for you to be upset with someone. Why are you upset? Because he didn't do what I want. Okay. So what? Are you the center of the universe? So you're upset because it's raining. You're upset because it's hot. You're upset because somebody said something bad about you. But what that person said about you was true. So why are you going to get upset about it? Like people call me, they say, oh, Japa is bold. I should get angry? I laugh, I smile. But when I was balding before, I was getting upset. When somebody look at my head, I get upset. Oh, they're thinking I'm balding. Then I realized, hey, I'm really balding. That's the truth. I have to accept that fact. And I have to be happy, bald, with this no hair. This is reality for me. So I've learned to accept it. Now it's a fashion for me. I love my look. So it's a decision. It's a decision. The thing is, our goals are set so many other things. But the first goal we must have is we must be happy. You must be happy in your marriage even if your husband is imperfect. You must be happy with your marriage even if your wife is imperfect. Right? They wake up in the morning, they have bad breaths. You didn't know that? Oh, because I saw in the movies they were kissing as soon as they wake up. That's a movie. Nobody does that. That's the movies. In the movies, yeah, you see, they just woke up and they kiss. Do you do that? No way. This is reality. Come on. But we accept each other for our imperfection. I know I'm imperfect. So I have to be tolerant of people's imperfection. But despite our imperfections, it doesn't mean we cannot choose to be happy. We could be happy sitting on the floor or sitting on the chair. It's a mental state. If you think weather, people, circumstances, cars is something outside of you, if you think happiness is something outside, you'll never be happy. Because this world is never perfect. There would always be the rain. You could be sitting in a nice beach, perfect sunrise, sunset. Then there's this fly or mosquito. You're watching the beautiful moonrise, and you have this mosquito. So you could either focus on the mosquito, or you focus on the beautiful moonlight. That's a choice, isn't it? I heard there was these two prisoners. I read somewhere there was these two prisoners. Okay? From a small window of their cell, this other person, he was seeing the beautiful moonrise. And he was like, wow, so beautiful. While the other person beside him was, oh, damn mosquito. You know? They're both in the same place. One is focused on the mosquitoes. One is focusing on the moonlight. Who is happy? The guy focusing on the moonlight. Was he not being bitten by mosquito? I'm sure. But he wasn't focusing on it. We would have itches in our body. We would have strain in our body. We would have a lot of these things going on. But are there things that we could be happy about? Just what about being alive? You know, we should wake up in the morning and just so excited, jumping and down. Oh my God, I'm alive. Like, you know, I could walk. That's an excitement. Just like when you have a new car, you come out in your garage, there's a new car. You're so excited, you're jumping up and down. Every day you wake up, there's a new you. You don't know that. There's a new you every day you wake up. There's a new you. You should be excited opening it up. Your wife, every time you wake up, is a new wife. It's a different person. Your children. So you must be excited about the things. Like, you know, when you have a girlfriend, you're so excited. You buy flowers. You go, you know, hike up the mountains to visit that girlfriend. How come you don't do that with your wife anymore? What? Why should I do that? She's not my girlfriend. So make her your girlfriend. Why don't you court her again? You know what I mean? Get romantic again. Isn't that a decision? Of course, you know, I try this at times, but the wife kind of like, okay, what do you want? You know what I mean? Because they're not used to it. But, you know, you just keep on doing it anyway. Because it's a decision. Buying a flower, saying, I love you, I miss you. You know, guys, it's relationship is an effort. It's just not going to happen. To be happy is not going to happen unless you say, hey, I want to be happy. It's not going to happen. So it's a decision. That's why you find in the gem book, it's one of my saying, happiness is a decision, not a journey. So I want you to go home. Starting tonight. Okay? Starting tonight, just practice making this decision. I want to be happy. I'm tired. I'm hungry. Okay? There's challenges, but it doesn't mean I cannot be happy. And when you're feeling discomfort, it's not your wife's fault. It's not your husband's fault. Why get irritated with the people around? You know, when we're hungry at times, we're irritated with everybody. Like, oh, why? You didn't cook? How come you didn't cook? How come my lunch is not ready? I didn't even know you were coming. People don't even know you're hungry. You know you're hungry. Why didn't you eat? So when I'm hungry right now, I don't go home and, complain to my wife I'm hungry. When I'm hungry, I go home, prepare a sandwich, and I ask my wife, "Oh, do you want some? I'm going to eat something." Then there's no fight. Oh, I could make chapati too, You think you're the only one who makes chapati? I could make chapati too. Even better than you. So, what's the fight? Right? Men can cook better than their wives. So, why complain? Why complain your food is not ready? Cook. You come home, dishes there, complain? No, wash it. While you're planning networking, wash the dishes, throw the garbage, and your wife would love you for it. Make her happy. Happy wife is happy home. So, you make yourself happy, you'll make everybody happy. Is this true? If you're miserable, everybody in your home is miserable. When you're stressed, everybody's just stressed in the house. The father comes in and you don't know what happened to him. He's just like on a bummer, hungry. Take off my shoes. Hey, you! What did you do? I'm working so hard. You, wife, come. Serve me. What the hell is his problem? And the kids are so happy, jumping up and down. The dad comes in. Everybody should be miserable. Nobody could be happy. Why? Because I'm miserable. Everybody should be miserable. No. The kid is jumping off the bed. Kids, they jump on the bed. They're happy jumping on the bed. I jump with them on the bed. It's okay that the bed gets destroyed, but we're happy. No, cannot. You cannot jump. Why? He's happy jumping off the bed, but the dad comes, "Hey, I paid $10,000 for this bed. Why are you screwing it? It's where I sleep. You cannot jump." Simple things. You could make people happy. You could make kids happy. If you cannot practice, if you have an unhappy home, you'll have an unhappy life inside, outside. So it's a practice. So please, practice to be happy. If I want you to bring anything home that you'll remember, please. You heard a lot. But the most important thing is to be happy. That first. Be happy. So if there's anything, my message in this VCon is be happy. And you know how it is to be happy. You know how it is. You just forgot. You know how it is to be happy. So, everyone, thank you so much. Haribo. Namaste.